Screw bulb, bayonet fitting. What to do? Get an adapter. Like this one from IKEA. It's currently 2 for £3, so you need to buy a 2-pack, £1.50 each. It's January 24 currently. I think you could get them cheaper on eBay and that. I don't know about shipping, of course. I mean, I would even try, like Screwfix and places like that. You may get them for £1 or less. I don't know. So I go like that. Bayonet fitting. You can get the opposite as well. It would be screw fitting there and you put a bayonet one in. But you can't with the same one because they're different. This is the usual fitting for these globe type bulbs. The screw one will be E27. I think that means 27 millimeters at the bottom. I'm not actually sure. It's either there or across there. And with the bayonet, it's probably 22 millimeters across. Because a bayonet fitting's got 2 pins here at the top, live and neutral I guess. And there you can see it, fits to live and neutral. With the screw ones, I think this is a live here and that's neutral. And so you've got to change the shape a bit. So it's got a bit sticking out in the middle there for the live. And then it's got a bit coming down for the side to be neutral. So yeah, comprende. Like I say, this one's from IKEA called Koppla, I think. I think that's the code there, but you buy them in 2 packs for £3, but I'm pretty sure you can probably get them cheaper elsewhere. Take note that the maximum wattage is 40 watts, so if you're using old incandescent bulbs, this shouldn't be compatible under standards because there's probably a good chance it will melt if you've got a 100 watt bulb in it. So it's really meant for, LED bulbs and the lights, ones that are way down at, well, under 40 watts basically. This bulb was 13.5 watts, it's from Home Bargains, 2 for £6, so that's well within the 40 watt limit. You just go like that and all that. What I usually do is I put them together first and then I put it in the fitting. It seems to be easier than putting this in first and then fiddling about, because these things are live. You don't want to mess about with light fittings because it's probably the fastest way to get to heaven really, and you're definitely getting it with a bang if you touch that live wire, live connection. So yeah, do everything you can to not let that happen. Alright guys, alright. Is everybody happy? Is everybody happy? Can be a bit fiddly. There you go. Is everybody happy? Is everybody happy? Anyhow, the point is, if for whatever reason you want to use one of the t'other, you can buy an adapter. This one is E27 bulbs for a bayonet fitting as a traditional bayonet thing. Because I don't know how the market's going with these, I don't know if bayonets getting sort of phased out. I don't think so. I mean, I'll probably be here forever because a lot of countries use it. It's like driving on one side of the road or the other. I think most countries have went for the Edison type. This is called an Edison screw. So it'll be something like ES27 or just E27, I think. Well, that's what I called it. Whereas this is a bayonet and it'll be B22 usually. This is a 10 watt. But if you do use these, make sure that they can cope with the wattage you're putting through the bulb. I mean, if you're using incandescent bulbs at 100 watt, the traditional ones like this, you can't put this in that because it'll probably melt it because it only goes up to 40 watts. If you're using LED bulbs, you'll almost definitely be alright because these are a way down at lower than 20 watts usually. That one's 10 watts, that one's 13.5 watts from Home Bargains. So that's one thing to look out. How much power can these adapters take? Because I've seen these things melt, like in my own house, in the old days when we had incandescent. So it's not a very good situation to be in. So this screw bulb is E27. That is the size you're looking for when you're looking around and you don't know what's what. GLS means globe sphere, I think, the old traditional type. Because these don't need to be a globe really, because the old incandescent bulbs, it was to keep gas in, but LED you don't need, there's no gas in there or anything. You could take this off if you wanted, but it's not very attractive, and also it spreads the light evenly and, gives it a bit, takes the glare off and that, So that's really just LED lights in there. Alright guys, I've done everything I can. I just wanted to show you the joy of bayonet to screw adapters or vice versa. In this case, it's a bayonet fitting. There's the traditional 2-pin of the bayonet, and they've adapted it to make it. So, you know what I'm trying to say, Edison screw, E27 millimeters. Bayonet, B22 millimeters. Granny, write it round before you go to Home Bargains. And if you buy the right one, you'll not need this. I wonder if eventually these will become less popular and these might become cheaper, I don't think there's a difference at the moment, but maybe. Because I wonder if new houses are going for Edison screw fittings rather than bayonet. I don't actually know. I just asked Bard and they didn't seem to know much. They did say that bayonet are more popular in Britain, that sort of thing. I think these are more Europe, but it's looking to me that as if Edison screw is becoming the king. But don't quote me on that, alright? Anyhow, whatever, don't go over 40 watts with this because it'll melt and it could be a fire brigade thing, who knows what could happen. Be a very bad situation, so don't go over 40 watts. If you're using LED bulbs, it's very unlikely they are over 40 watts, but if you're using the old incandescent types bulbs at full power that are 100 watts, no, don't use them. And don't use ones at 60 watts. You can get halogen ones or incandescent ones at 60 watts. But if it's an LED one, it's probably down at under 20 watts. This equivalent thing's getting everybody confused. That thing, that's the old fashioned they're talking about there. This is what this one really is. Power is volts times amps. Watts is volts times amps. So this one's actually 13.5 watts, but they're saying in the old days it's given the same brightness as a 100 watt one.